All right, stopping bullies in their tracks. We'll hear from a teenage race car driver who's part of an anti-bullying campaign, and he himself has been a victim of bullies. All right, bullying is a problem for a lot of kids across America, but there are ways to fight back. The Great American NoBull Challenge is a national campaign aimed at stopping bullies, and Veach is a spokesman for the campaign. He's one of the youngest licensed race car drivers in the country, and he is with us right now from Columbus, Ohio, and he's also the author of 99 Things Teens Wish They Knew Before Turning 16. By the way, he's 16. Zach, tell us more about this Great American NoBull Challenge and why you decided to be involved.
Well, I mean, for me, growing up, I was trying to pursue my dream, and when I was going through public school, I was bullied a little, and it kind of seems bullies try to pick on kids that try to be different, and they really want you to follow in line and be the same as everybody else. So I just wanted to join a great cause, and I saw the Great NoBull Challenge, and they're the biggest campaign out there trying to put an end to cyberbullying, and I thought, what not a better way to get my message out and help them out as well.
So you write about in your book that one of the things that you were picked on about was your, as you put it in your book, your lack of height. And so there were some who gave you a hard time calling you midget. There was name calling and all that. And you eventually kind of used reverse psychology to kind of get back at that person. Tell me how that made the difference. And what do you mean by that, reverse psychology?
Well, I mean, after a while, I couldn't take it anymore, and I was kind of like, maybe I'm normal, and maybe you're just a giant is the comeback I used.
And it worked, huh?
No, I always, yeah, he didn't have anything to say, because I don't think he was expecting that to come back for me after I kind of politely just shook it off for a while. But, I always thought, my parents taught me that, violence is never an option for that. And, I didn't want to do anything that would put me to his level. So I just decided to use that. And from that point on, I just tried to help other kids, use the terms I did or use the way I did to kind of settle down their problems.
So what are some of the other recommendations that you have for kids who, don't really know what to do? They even feel I guess a little hesitant about telling anybody that they're being bullied.
Right.
Someone, whether it's physical or whether it's name calling. What's your advice on the first approach? How does, a kid kind of muster up the courage that you had?
Well, I mean, it's definitely hard because I was in the same shoes as them, and it's a little embarrassing at times, but I mean, you have to realize that you're being bullied because people might be jealous of what you're doing because they might not have the opportunity to. And, you really just have to use the energy that they give you, the negative energy, to kind of fuel yourself, to push yourself that much more. And that's what I did. They told me I couldn't be a race car driver, and, I just put everything together to show them that, I can if I really try hard. And, it's just, the faster you fix the problem, maybe you can even help the bully at the end of the day. Everybody goes through bad parts in their life, and if you can help them out as well, maybe you can move yourselves both forward at the end of the day.
And that's you racing in the Indy Racing League. How long have you been driving, Zach?
Well, I actually started kind of late. I started when I was 12 years old in go-karts.
Gosh, can't believe that's considered late because so many start at 6. I mean, I talked to some NASCAR drivers earlier this year, and they talked about, starting with go-karts when they were 6. So you started late, but then what gave you the upper hand to be able to compete on this level and stay in the race?
Well, I knew I was behind by starting when I was 12, so I made sure that I was at the racetrack anytime I could, and having the bullying problem as well, it just made me really push hard so I could show everybody that I do have the ability to do this. And I've been very fortunate along the way. I have great parents that have helped me out, and also with online school K-12, they're just great, because if it wasn't for the teachers and the schooling system they have, I couldn't be doing what I've been doing. So,
wow. So
it's really a help from a lot of people.
Incredible. So you really have persevered. You know, and one thing that you did talk about in your book, and I do want to kind of call a little bit attention to it, because you mentioned, you know, while nobody wants to respond with physical violence, that kind of bullying with physical violence, you did write that, you know, sometimes you do have to kind of fight back. So how do you advise other kids to kind of find that happy medium so they don't find themselves in such a big physical battle that it does more harm than good?
Yeah, well, I mean, definitely there's a certain extent and you got to look at, because if there isn't a point where a bully is trying to hurt you physically, I mean, you have to defend yourself. But when it comes to things like name calling or possibly making fun of, it's definitely, you don't want to respond with physical contact, because, I mean, that's really not going to help anybody at the end of the day, and you don't want to end up hurting yourself with it. So if you can just help each other move forward by getting adults to help out, because that would be a more kind of logical way to do it than sometimes us 16-year-olds or any kid thinks of.
All right. Zach Veach, thanks so much. All the best. Again, the book is 99 Things Teens Wish They Knew Before Turning 16, and all the best in the Indy Racing League. We'll be watching. Remember the name, Zach Veach. Thanks, Zach. All right, that really helps us underscore that it is time for all of us to take a stand. Our Anderson Cooper hosts a town hall conversation about putting an end to bullying. Watch Bullying. It stops here tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern Time.